Mm.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the second episode of the Vulpecula Code of Honor. This episode was written by Catherine Powers and Michael Barron and adapted by Commodore James. In the cast, we have Captain Elhorn as Coleman Sensei, Exousia Shannon Marsh, Starthorn Ashton Martin, Voras Bennett Cousins, Shepard Joshua Caleb Bisquera. Did I say that right?
It's a K, so Biscara.
Biscara, all right. Frostwind, Kurt Johnson, Lamuel, Ron Keck, Haldir, Mitchell Walther, and Hester, Rachel Bieber. So we shall begin. The Vulpecula sits moored to a stone dock next to a busy sun-bathed street. The crew works on deck. Shepard ties off lines to secure the rigging as we hear his latest journal entry.
We've reached the first port of our maiden voyage, the city of Edge. It is much like Port Frey, but with a more dangerous reputation. The captain is to negotiate with members of the Unedited tribe, a group of secluded Offendal scholars. Our task is to acquire a rare breed of eucalyptus, useful for enchanting and purification.
Exterior deck, dock, day.
Exousia, Frostwind, you're with me. Starthorn, you have the ship.
Aye, sir.
The three walk down the gangplank onto the dock.
This should be an exciting experience.
Agreed. The uneven prefer to keep to themselves. This meeting will be a rare opportunity.
They are highly intelligent and proud. We should make an effort to show the utmost respect.
Offendal men approach. They both wear long, light-colored robes and have dark hair.
I am Lamuel of the Uneven tribe. You are from the Vulpecula?
Yes, I am Captain Varian Elhorn. These are members of my crew, second in command Exousia and Quartermaster Dune Frostwind.
Your second in command is a woman.
Yes, Lamuel, and a damn fine one.
I am honored. This is my second, Haldir, and a sample of our eucalyptus.
Here you are, Captain.
Haldir goes to hand a small box to the captain, but Exousia intercepts.
I'll take that.
Step aside, woman.
Haldir shoves Exousia and, in one balanced movement, ends up pinned to the ground with Exousia placing her knee between his shoulder blades.
Oh, how does a woman have such strength?
Fascinating.
Release him, Chief.
They return to their feet.
We mean you no disrespect. We have certain protocols we follow for safety.
Of course.
The eucalyptus, sir. It seems safe.
Now, if this is as potent as I've heard, it could solidify a trade relationship for years. Would you care to come aboard?
Well, yes. We will join you shortly.
The crew returns to the ship. The Offendal men speak to themselves softly.
I have never known a female to have such strength.
Yes. Perhaps we have found something more valuable than a trade agreement.
Interior Vulpecula, galley, day. Some of the crew and the Offendal guests sit at the long table, the windows propped open to allow the sea breeze through.
Lamuel, we're aware that your tribe is one of scholars and that you enjoy your solitude, but not much else is known of your people.
We are apprehensive of strangers. Our study of herbalism has allowed us to breed a flower with innate magical and medicinal benefits. If we feel that you are genuine and respectful, we will make it available to you.
You shall have our respect regardless of our dealings.
You have a marvelous ship. May I have a tour?
Of course, if you'll follow me.
Is it possible for Exousia to lead me?
I've noticed your curiosity about my chief mate. What role do females play in your tribe?
Males rule, and the females support us.
It is that way in many cultures and the opposite in others. On the Vulpecula, gender makes no difference.
And yet, a male commands this vessel.
I have every confidence that my chief mate can fulfill every duty I serve.
Indeed.
I don't mind showing him around, sir.
Very well.
This way, please.
Interior Vulpecula day. Exousia and Lemuel walk through the lower deck.
You've seen the galley. This is the crew bunk room, enough to sleep 20. Through this door is the captain's cabin.
Exousia opens the ornate, dark wooden door.
Quite spacious, and such a large window to look upon the ocean.
Exousia closes the door.
If you'll head upstairs, we'll go on deck.
Exterior deck day.
The Vulpecula has a length of 103 feet, a beam of 25 feet, and a full-rigged sail plan. These are the doors to the hold where we can carry over 100 tons of goods. Forward of the hold, in the lower decks, are the guest quarters and the infirmary.
And armaments?
Should the need arise, we can thoroughly protect ourselves.
And should the need arise, could you command this vessel as the captain says?
Completely.
You impress me.
Elhorn and Haldir walk onto deck, continuing their conversation.
I hope that we can come to an arrangement that benefits us both. Lemuel, I was just saying to your second that I feel we have had a good beginning and look forward to our business.
Haldir stands beside Lemuel and Exousia.
Yes, I am confident we will get what we want.
With a flash, the Offendo men and Exousia vanish.
Exousia!
Sir, they've used a portal.
Can you track them?
It will take time, sir. I'll get to work.
Frostwind, what is your impression? Is Exousia in danger?
I don't think so, sir. They seemed more ambitious than angry.
I want the two of you to put everything you know together and find them.
The next day, at sunset, Shepard writes in his journal.
It has been a full day since the chief mate's abduction. Starthorn worked without rest, using his magic to find where the portal ended. Much of the crew have set out to the location, only a few miles away, while the rest of us tend to the ship.
Exterior woods, night. The crew is on the outskirts of a small village with a few wooden buildings sitting in a circle, surrounded by trees. They speak in lowered voices to avoid detection.
You are sure this is where the portal ended?
Yes, sir. This is the Unedited village.
We can...
You better conceal our efforts if we know which building she's in.
I only know that the portal from the ship ended in this village. That occurred over a day ago. She could be anywhere.
It's better than nothing.
Sir, Frostwind and I suggest you go alone.
That is foolish.
On the contrary, the Uneven are scholars, not warriors. Should we show aggression, they may use another portal, which could take hours to follow, if I can track them at all. If the captain goes alone, he stands a better chance of opening a dialogue.
Sounds reasonable.
I disagree.
Noted. Remain here.
Elhorn moves off toward the village.
Starthorn, did you bring any food?
Why are you, Faye, always eating?
There is nothing more fulfilling than food.
I can think of at least one thing.
The sight, sound, texture, smell, and taste are a symphony.
Food is meant for energy and strength.
Maybe you haven't had the right food.
Maybe you haven't had the right mate.
Elhorn walks to the center of the village.
I am Captain Virion Elhorn of the merchant ship Vulpecula. I am here to recover a member of my crew.
A door opens on one of the buildings. Lemuel steps out.
Welcome, Captain Elhorn. I thought you might find your way here.
I request that you return to me my chief mate.
Exousia will return to you in time.
I would like to see her now.
As a fellow Offendal, I would expect you to show more courtesy.
Courtesy is such as taking someone against their will.
Very well.
Elhorn walks closer to the house. Lemuel steps inside, then returns with Exousia in chains.
Chief, have you been mistreated?
Other than being chained, no.
What is the meaning of this?
Are you familiar with the Trahazi?
A nomadic people, musicians, astrologers.
Not long ago, the Nadine marched through our village, burning everything as they went. We headed north to where we purchased the land on which we are now standing. When my people arrived to begin our new lives, we found a Trahazi tribe living here. We told them that we owned the land, but they would not leave. We had to hire mercenaries to force them out. Last month, the Trahazi issued a challenge, and somehow the magistrate approved. On the next full moon, they shall bring their fiercest female to fight ours to the death for the land rights. We have no more money to hire a champion. So, choose to sell our eucalyptus to raise funds. Then we met your chief mate, and we saw our redemption. The Trahazi will be here tomorrow, and Exousia will fight for us.
Like hell I will.
Lamuel, I am sympathetic to your plight, but your abduction of my crewmen is an act of war.
Because we are at war, fighting for our home. Exousia will fight, or I shall portal her far enough away that no magic will ever find her.
Interior house the next morning. Exousia is sitting on a bunk with her wrists bound by a chain connected to the floor. Elhorn, Voras, and Frostwind enter, passing a guard outside the door.
Captain, men.
Oh, how are you?
Frustrated. I don't like being a puppet.
We're all being manipulated.
I could probably win. I have no reservations about taking a life in battle. But not like this.
You don't have to prove anything.
Lemuel is desperate, Captain. He was not lying when he said he would portal Exousia away if she didn't cooperate. He is also genuine about setting up trade with us. There's more to win here by fighting.
We need to know as much as possible about Trahazi arms and tactics.
Not much to know, sir. Any battle they have won has come down to sheer numbers. They're like ants. One is a threat, but many are overwhelming.
Hold on, can you just say that one more time?
The whole thing?
The last line?
One is not a threat, but many are overwhelming.
And why would they suggest one-on-one combat?
A duel is the only legal form of combat to settle a dispute.
Yet again, the action goes against what we know of the Trahazi. They are not people who put their trust in laws.
Outside, what sounds like a parade with music and cheering approaches.
What is that?
They look out the doorway.
It's the Trahazi.
The parade of 100 colorfully dressed men and women stops in the center of the village. A single voice begins to speak as the music ends.
I am Hester Chiabanu, the elder of this tribe. The land under my feet was our home long before you arrived. You say the law makes it yours? Today, we will use that same law to take it back. Present your champion.
Lamuel approaches the crew.
It's time.
Lamuel grabs Exousia's chains and walks to the Trahazi.
Here is our champion.
What is this? You present her in chains? Is she your champion or your slave?
Neither. I am his captive, forced to fight against my will.
Is there no end to the depths of your misogyny, Effendal?
Hester looks to Exousia.
You have my pity for being caught in a fight that is not your own. But we must conclude this matter now.
You should know that I am celestial. Not only does my strength far outmatch yours, but I can heal myself instantly.
You should know that I am Trahazi, and there is nothing for which I would fight more fiercely than my tribe.
The only real reason I fight is because Lemuel has threatened to banish me if I don't.
That is your matter, not mine.
I am Captain Elhorn of the merchant ship Vulpecula. If I may ask, what claim do you have to this land?
We have tried to talk, but your offender brother dismissed us.
While he and I are similar in race, I am willing to hear what you have to say.
Captain, they have chosen to fight, so let it be done.
Lamuel, so long as the Trahazi are willing to talk, I shall listen.
Elhorn turns to Hester.
Please continue.
The Trahazi have no country of their own. We are nomads moving from place to place. When we found this land, it had no claims, so we stayed. We lived. Some of us died. As is our tradition, we buried those we lost. During the next solstice, we celebrate the newly dead, releasing them into the unknown. Before the next solstice, these offender moved in and forced us out, refusing to allow us to have our ceremony. That Yabensi would not listen to us because I am a woman. He said that if I wanted to speak to him, it would have to be... He said if I wanted to speak to him, I would have to get a man to do the talking.
Lamuel, what do you have to say?
There is nothing to say. The land belongs to us by law. And if they want to challenge us with legal combat, then your female will fight. Or I will portal her so far away that by the time she finds her way back, everyone she knows will be dead.
Doing so will bring you consequences for which you are not prepared. What do you have to lose by granting the ceremony? What do you have to lose? Hester, would you give more time so that I may find another solution to this matter?
Because you have shown respect, I will reciprocate. You have until sunset.
Interior house, day.
We have two groups who want the same resource. The Trahazi are willing to give up the land if they could perform a funeral ceremony, but Lamuel won't allow it. Why?
There are only 3 reasons to fight: to keep, to take, or to kill.
The Trahazi are poor. There's nothing to take but the land, which Lamuel already has.
The Trahazi have chosen to fight, so Lamuel doesn't want to kill.
Then what is he trying to keep that he will lose by allowing the ceremony?
During the ceremony, the entire tribe will encircle the graves and tell pleasant stories of the departed. They will sing songs, they'll dance, eat, and drink for many hours. The final act is to cover the ground with salt. This act symbolized the barrier between life and death, through which a spirit can no longer pass. The body is forgotten while the person is remembered.
Of course.
Sir?
Salt. The Oniven have begun to harvest a breed of eucalyptus more potent than anything before, and I imagine they would have a hard time growing more if the ground were covered in salt. This fight isn't about rights, it's about profit.
Even so, the duel requires a death. Knowledge of the Offendal's motive does not change that.
No, it doesn't. If Exusia fights, she will win, and every time we make a profit on that flower, it will be blood money. And I doubt the Trahazi will let it end there. Their defeat could begin a long war between the two tribes.
So what do we do now?
You'll have to lose.
Exterior village, sunset. The Trahazi are cheering, ready for the fight.
Before I send your champion to the grave, I will allow you to concede, to keep the land and allow us the right to consecrate it. Before I send your champion to the grave, I will allow you to concede, to keep the land and allow us the right to consecrate the ground of our dead.
You have invoked the law and asked for death, so I will provide you with one. Release our champion from her chains.
2 men remove the chains from Exusia.
Hester, I have a final request. Should you best me, I ask that your final blow be swift and through the heart.
Granted.
Begin!
Exusia drops her sword, falls to her knees, and opens her arms.
What are you doing? Get off your knees! Pick up your sword!
Hester does not hesitate. She charges forth, thrusting her long sword through Exusia's heart and into the ground behind her.
No!
Hester looks over Exusia, upright and impaled, She places a hand across Exusia's eyes and whispers a prayer.
She is dead. The duel is complete. Yabensi, get off our land.
The Trahazi cheer.
Now, Mr. Starthorn.
Starthorn rushes to Exusia's body. He roughly puts a foot on Exusia's chest and pulls out the sword. The corpse falls to the dirt as Starthorn opens a crystal vial and pours out the contents onto her mouth. He puts a hand over the wound and shouts,
Life!
Exusia draws in a forced breath and writhes in pain for a few seconds.
Is this? We do not concede. Our champion still lives.
I assure you, she was quite dead, but the tears of life are the power of resurrection.
The challenge is satisfied, and you would be wise to honor it. The law is not kind to those who attempt to steal land, but you are welcome to dispute the matter with the magistrate. I'm sure you will get a fair judgment after she hears my testimony.
Lamuel exits in frustration. Elhorn kneels down to Exusia.
How are you, Chief?
I can't move, sir.
It is the weakness from the spell. Her strength will return, Captain.
Hester walks to the crew.
Captain, thank you.
Elhorn
Not
stands.
necessary.
Elhorn stands.
Not necessary. Your tribe has something it hasn't had before. Its own land. Tend to it. Take time to reconsider the use of salt in your ceremony. And when you begin growing crops, I suggest eucalyptus. I've heard it grows well here.
Hester kneels down to Exusia.
I am a bit disappointed that we did not cross blades. Perhaps another time.
Exusia nods as Hester returns to celebrate with her tribe. Voras stands over Exusia.
Died bravely.
Is that a compliment?
Voras gives a low growl, then kneels and picks up Exusia on her shoulders. Exterior Vulpecula, day. The crew returns to the ship. Voras supports Exusia as they walk.
Welcome back, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Shepard. Anything to report?
We are ship-shape, sir. No goods to bring aboard?
Not this time.
What a waste.
We may not have a full hull, but we've made an ally with the Trahazi. Good relationships are what will keep us going. Men, prepare to shove off.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Well done. All right.
Yay.
We did it.
Hooray!
And a big cheer for Exusia Shannon, who I think is on a cell phone.
I am. I'm in a car at a gas station.
Oh, wow.
What a champ! You're
Well
a hero.
Oh my goodness.
I love that.
We were
I'm
worried we
so
weren't going to have
sorry.
you.
I was busting my ass to get to a gas station in time to make it. I had to make a last minute drive, and I was like, it's short enough, I'll be there in time. And then it was not short enough.
Good. I love our little crew. Love our little ship.
Awesome. Well done. Well, thank you for watching, everyone. And I'm going to stop recording at this point as soon as I find the button.
I just realized I should have been going full Kirk. Damn it.